Hi guys, right, I just wanted to show you two techniques that us OT uses with using the therapy ball to calm and regulate. These balls are so multifunctional. You know, they're birthing balls, they're exercise balls, but they're also therapy balls. And they do amazing for calming and regulating. So the first one is for a child to be in a flexed position on it. So you lie over the top, you get the child to hang their head in this position. Okay, they can rock backwards and forwards with it and stay here. You could read a book, you know, you can do activities on the floor. So they're like this and they've got to read a book or watch the iPad or something like that. But if they stay in that flexed position, that is calming and regulating for their nervous system. You can even add to that activity if you want to add to that activity. So if you were to hold on to their legs and hold their legs up in the air and rock them backwards and forwards, holding their legs, then that increases the proprioception input into the body. And what you can do, if you've got a big therapy ball, you can, or a little child playing with it, you can play games. So you could have lots of items on the floor, you're holding the legs, you're controlling how far they're rocking and moving, so they're getting a lot of calming and regulating stimulation from it. But as well, they're using an activity where they've got to reach down and grab something. So they're always looking, you're in control. You could make it into a game. Sometimes you get them to touch it, but they didn't quite reach it. So you can get them to stay in that position for longer and see how quickly they respond to that calming and regulating activity. So that's the first technique that I wanted to discuss with you, because that is so simple, yet it's so effective for a lot of children. The second one is squishing. So you may hear OTs refer to squishing. This is my human being and they're lying on their front, okay? So they're lying on their tummies, on the floor, nice and relaxed, head down to the side, head on the floor, but they're in a nice straight position. Okay, you start at the feet and gradually you put pressure on and gradually you just rock backwards and forwards, little by little, putting pressure through the ball. Okay, some children I've worked with, they like to hold their arms out to the side and want their arms done independently. That's fine, but you work up. You don't put as much pressure on over the chest area, but you can go right up and then back down. And I've actually done this with children and actually they've took my full weight, and you will notice the response quite quick. But start off with just a little bit pressure and ask them, is that nice? Do you want me to press on harder? What's it like? Do you feel nice and calm? You know, and gradually their interaction might reduce because actually they're feeling much more calm and regulated. You can do it with a smooth ball. The spiky balls that you can get, you can do it with a spiky ball, but you've just got to be careful of the tactile system. You've got to make sure that it is appropriate, because sometimes children won't like that sensation. So you just push gradually backwards and forwards, up, and then when you get up to the chest area, just lighten, just a little lighter, and then move back down to their feet. And like I say, you can do their arms independently as well. If they want it on the front, so they're lying on their back, don't go over their tummy, over the chest. So on the front, you can, if they've got their arms out to the side, you can do their arms and put pressure through their arms. You can do their legs, so from here down, but don't do any of this area going back up the body. This gives that deep pressure, that calming and regulating activity. Do it, grade it. So you might do it for 5 minutes, and then they might see a response. So they might, their body, you can physically see their body relax. They might reduce interaction. They might say, oh, this is lovely. You know, their tone of voice might change. But what we want to do is get the child to respond quickly. So it's not about building up with this activity. It's about, can you do it get it so you do it for a minute, and then they respond, they feel calm, they feel regulated, and then they respond, and that is their calming and regulating activity. That's the ultimate goal for this one. Okay, so you can try it, but continuously talk to them. How does that feel? Is that okay? Are you sure that feels nice? They might even say, can you put more pressure on my arms? I've had children say that, like, oh, that's lovely, put more pressure on my arms, put more pressure on my legs. Oh, go deeper. And actually, if you have someone to practice with, go underneath and get somebody to gradually push up your body, and you will be shocked. If you've never had it done before, you will be shocked at actually how much pressure that actually you can put through the ball onto somebody, and actually get that calming and regulating sensation. I was shocked that, you know, children, but it all depends on how much they register the tactile input, how sensitive they are to the tactile input and the proprioceptive input that they're getting from the ball. But it's very calming, very regulating, and we would do these kind of activities at the end of a session because these are calming and regulating. If you've had any OT home programs, these are great to put in home programs and put it at the end of the sessions, because they've had their alerting, they've had their organising, they've had their and then it's time to regulate. So that is in simple terms, kind of why we do this and how to do it safely. So on the front, you never do the head, you never do the torso whilst they're on the line on their back. You lift the pressure off when you get to the chest if they're lying on their front, and you can do their arms separate. So if you've got any questions about this, let me know. There are so many activities that you can do though. Like if they're lying on the floor and lying on their tummy, you can even ask them to read a book. Depends how your child responds, but it really is calming and regulating for the nervous system. But just kind of talk to the child or the adult throughout the whole thing, make sure that it's appropriate, and if they ever say, I've had enough, stop please, anything like that, then you must immediately stop. All right, okay, see you big soon, bye.